How's it going? So super quick video. Why does League of Carry results naturally into a win? Because naturally people want to ask, how do you win the game? Okay? So here's how, right? You are playing mid lane and you are better than your opponent, right? So you have to be more skilled than your opponent. Mid lane is the control lane of League of Legends. From mid lane, you control the map. Since you already crushed your opponent, or your opponent champion is dog shit, right? You are going to win the scrims either in the Herald or in the Dragon. Okay, since you're winning the scrims, you are snowballing into taking the dragons. And because you're taking dragons, your team stats get better. Fundamentally, I wrote it in here. You simply win because of your stats. Okay? Now, we're kind of... Naturally, you win because you're a good player, but I'm talking about fundamentally, when you snowball, you can just 100% overpower your team, your enemy team, because of your stats. This is why it's an efficient system, because at some point, you are so far ahead, you just can't lose. Does that make sense? Like, I see some streamers that play games, and I'm like, dude, like, your team gets outscaled, and like they're under... It forces you into shit plays, and into desperate plays, into rushed plays. That doesn't happen in League of Carry because your champs are better. Your stats are better. Your champs outscale their champions, right? Most of the time. Okay? And again, we're talking about Baron buffs, we're talking about Dragon buffs, we're talking about Elder buffs, we're talking about the enemies under-farmed, under-leveled. All of your team has red buffs, because nowadays you can take 4 red buffs. Right, so if your enemy is just crushing if your team is just crushing enemy, like they have no red buffs, they have no blue buffs. So by stats checking, even on equal gold, because of your champions and your buff advantage, you're just gonna roll them. Do you understand? And that's how you win. That's why you win. It's because of the stats. And also, since we are dodging the loser's queue, most of the time you'll be in winner's queue or equal queue. Now, equal queue doesn't exist in League of Carry because you make the game unequal with your skill. Because you are just crushing your enemy, okay? So what happens, I notice a lot of the times, your team listens to the calls. You go for Baron, they usually follow. You go for Dragon, they usually follow. Like, I just played the game, and I told Yone, you need to control dragons, you can go mid, but you have to control dragons. He did not control dragons, so I said, hey, Yone, can you go top? I go mid, and I control the dragons. He had no problem with that. He's like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing, fine. Do you understand? When you're in a loser's queue, you play with players that are like, 12% win rate, he's emotionally unstable, I don't know what the deal is, but they're just like, no, I'm just gonna go and farm. Because I need to buy that long sword, and I don't care if the team loses the Baron, or the team loses the Dragon, I don't give a shit. Do you understand? Like, it's kind of like, this type of mentality and behavior causes them to have this disgusting statistics. I mean, one second. Like, think about a typical loser's queue player like this guy here. You get like 4 players like this. You have to think in terms of decision making that the person goes through every single day. Because, I mean, 29 games, that's a lot of days, right? And he consistently picks a champion that he's clearly not good with. And he's also, I don't know what his rank is, but I mean, his statistics show he's probably very low rank. You have to understand, players that want to win, there are players that want to win, and players that just, I don't know, I have no idea what they're trying to do. They just play games just to press buttons, I don't know, it's some kind of random coin flip shite they get excited about, right? Maybe they like randomness. But there are players that want to win, and that's the players you play with. And then you see players like this on the enemy team. Like, you have to think about their decision-making process. So, throughout life, they make a lot of shit decisions and then transitions into their gameplay. Alright? On the flip side, you have the winner's queue players who play to win, and most of the time they will follow good decisions because that's the profitable thing to do. It's like, think about people that invest into pension funds, invest into index funds, versus people who invest into some crypto bullshit, invest into NFTs. They lose all their money. They go back into trying to win the money. They gamble. Do you understand? And this is like, you want to be on the guys who are investing into index funds. I'm just saying that, the decision making is good, and they are going to help you to win because you make the right calls, because you are a good player, and they're going to follow because it's a good thing to do. They want to win. Whereas these guys, they're just like random. He might follow, he might not follow, he might decide to, like, you've seen some videos I made, like Evelyn, I think it was, who was I inted a little bit, but Cho'Gath had no mana, no flash, under a turret, and he just, like, I'll show you the video, one sec. Like, look at this gameplay. I'll link this video in the description below so you can see. I mean, like, look. So there's Cho'Gath, right? I kind of inted a little bit because I thought I dodged the thing, but I didn't. So I got killed, right? But she has red buff, she has everything. She has flash. This guy flashless, no mana. He's very slow champion, right? And look, like, she literally just walks away. Look, you see? Do you see? Like, this Cho'Gath has to die. That's it. Like, it's, and he just like, adios, see you later, bye. And this kind of behavior, you see this type of behavior, it transitions into this. And because they don't review their games, they will continue to make these decisions because they are not committed to improvement. Right? So their life is going to be just some random weird shit happening. Right? And you'll be saying, oh, this is low elo. No, it's not. I already made a lot of videos where high elo, same shit happens. Right? There was a forked video I made about it was a diamond level MMR and they can't even smite. Like, they can't even press button. I had Darius on my team who can't even press ult. I left the kill for him. He couldn't even press a button. Do you understand? It's like that's why at this stage, when I see players like this, even if I see that I can 1v5 the enemy team, I still dodge because I don't want to carry them. It's too much stress. It's too difficult. Do you know what I mean? It's just too difficult. It's too much. I don't get paid for this. Like, if I got paid for this, okay, fine. But I mean, I just don't get paid for it. Anyway, so back to the topic. The reason for that is because you're good, right? Your champ's OP. All of your players are decent or good. And you, by stats, you're just better. Right? So you just overpower and you roll the enemy team, and that's it. They can't really do anything against you. And again, you have to factor in you're in the winner's queue. Your team is going to be well coordinated. They're going to position well. So chances are you're going to be fighting against 3 people most of the time. 5v3, something like that, right? Because their ADC or their support decided to AFK. Their, I don't know, top lane decided to, I'm just going to stand in the bush because I can't take that shit anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's... But I have to say, like, it's very, how to say... I feel like I have full control over the game. That's what I always wanted to do, is I wanted to get a system where I can confidently go into League of Legends game and say, I'm going to win it, right? And right now I can say, if I'm playing a game, I'm probably going to win it. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I have the system now. And, like, the core of the system, again, is you have to be good yourself, but you also have to dodge. You have to have a good dodge skill. Do you know what I mean? So, and I kind of laid out the rules in here. And this will naturally result in a win. Because you tick all the boxes, basically. Okay? And it's relaxing. Like, it's not, like, super stressful. Because one thing I originally I made the system, I was like, okay, I don't care what my team is. I literally don't give a shit. I just want to know what the enemy is speaking so I can 1v5 them. Now, that system is not as efficient as this system, right? Because the amount of effort requires to carry shit players versus even if their champions are hard countered by Tryndamere, for example, right, by your champion, if they're coordinated good players and your team is full of these guys, it's very hard to win. Very, very, and it's so stressful. I had to, like, I played a game. At that point I realized, no, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I played it, like, it's on my channel. It's 4v5. Oh no, it's not. It was with Rengar on my team, and they were like, no, don't finish the game, dude. You are 4-6. You had done, like, that guy did nothing for the whole game. He picked Rengar as a jungler. He clearly does not know what he's doing, right? And I had to carry his sorry ass, go through the stress of seeing him absolutely do disgustingly shit plays, feed for the whole game, and he was pinging me, telling me not to finish the game because he wants to get a couple more kills. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like these players are just, dude, I don't want to carry them. I don't want to even play with them. If they're on enemy team, fine, it's gonna be 15 minutes surrender. It's okay. It's okay for me. Do you know what I mean? So, I lost the train of thought a little bit. What was I saying? Let me just think 1 sec. Oh, yeah. So my original system of, okay, I'm just gonna look at the enemy team and see if I can beat them alone, right? Now I'm thinking to myself, okay, you cannot really effectively do that, because most of the time, if your team is disgustingly bad, even you can, basically in this game, by game design, you cannot 1v5, so you have to play with decent players. So finding good players is, like, important, right? And it's not that difficult. Like, I mean, it's 4 dodges per game, roughly. Sometimes you dodge like 12 times, you play 1 game, sometimes you play like 3 games in a row, so overall it works out at about 4.2, I think, dodges per game. But it's fun to play. It's not super exhausting, it's interesting, and it's pleasure to be on. Like, you even see plays that people make, you're like, holy moly, that's like a good play. Do you know what I mean? You get inspired, you get motivated, as opposed to watching these shitters just do weird shit, and you're trying to win the game and he just, like, doesn't give a shit. Do you know what I'm saying? So you see, my system evolved into play with good players, but it evolved into this team analyzer, basically. So you see, like, normally I just did not care about this part. I only looked at this, and I said to myself, can I beat the enemy team 1v5, even if they all AFK, or they just bots, wave clear? But now I'm saying, okay, is my team actually better, and how useful they are? And then I look at the enemy team, and I say, okay, how useful, how much of a barrier are the enemy champions, and how are they gonna stop me from winning the game? So you see, it's almost the same system. I still look at this part, but I added that my players have to be good. And the reason for that is because it's too stressful to carry shitters. It's just too stressful. You can do it. I understand that people tell you, oh, there's like Smurf. He's like, yeah, okay, if he's unemployed, if he's playing this game for full time, I get it, right? That's his full-time job. He has, like, I don't know, 2,000 viewers. It's his job to carry the shitters. I get it, right? I get it. But if you're a dude who just wants to enjoy the game, have a bit of fun, not be addicted to it, play it because it gives you pleasure, not because you're addicted, League of Carry is the way to go. League of Carry is the way to go, right? Because think about, there are 2 games, effectively speaking. I split, well, there are a lot more, but I split it into kind of 2 core games. There is League of Legends, where you queue up, and some random shit happens. You play into counter pick, I don't know, you pick Riven, they pick Tahm Kench. You're standing there, do 50 damage per auto, Tahm Kench is laughing at you. Your team is omega feeding, and then the enemy team the enemy bot lane just rotates top, and they just smash you entire. And you're just like, you're just an observer. Do you know what I'm saying? You're just like, you can't do anything, right? And then next game you play, it's the same shit. You playing Riven, Tahm Kench is not very good. You get a couple of kills. Your team is just steamrolling the enemy. Your bot lane comes in, 2 taps the Tahm Kench, and you just win the game, right? At what point do you actually interact with the game? It's like you're just an observer. And that's why it's so unsatisfying in League of Legends to win games, and it's so frustrating to lose them because you feel like you're just like a victim of the system, right? So I encourage you to quit League of Legends and move to League of Carry, where you have control over the outcome of the game and you can actually impact the game. And for you to do that, you have to look at the lobby and say, are my teammates good? Can I impact the game? Can I carry the game? Can I control the map? If the answer is yes, you play the game. And you can see that in my performance, right? I mean, you can see that in my performance. I mean, I have multiple accounts, but I mean, this is... I'm on this one? No, which one am I on? Hold on a sec, let me just pull up. I don't think I'm on this one, right? Yeah, so this one is on the League of Graphs, right? I mean, look, like 100% win rate. 52 KDA, 100% win rate. Like, I have a lot of accounts. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change the point. Let me just do real quick. Yeah, you see? Because you can impact the game. And it's fun. It's fun. Some games are challenging. Like this game, well, this game was not super challenging, but there is an objective. Like, for example, this game I need to make sure that Warwick was not overfed. You know what I'm saying? So you play those mini games to stop them from winning. And I mean, but fundamentally what I'm trying to say is you have full control over the outcome. And then it becomes interesting to actually get some coaching and become good because it transitions into results. Whereas in League of Legends, when you play this, I'm not gonna start calling it, but you know what I'm saying, like this game, right? You get coaching and you win and you lose like 6 games in a row because your entire team just mega feats. And you're just like so demoralized. You think it's just holy shit, you know, I did everything the coach asked. And like I lost more games than the previous day before I got coaching. But that's because the system decided. The engagement optimized matchmaking system just bounces you around winners and losers queue, and you're just like a victim. You're literally a victim of the system. So I'm telling you, quit League of Legends, play League of Carry, you're gonna be a happy person. Alright? Take care.